Alright, got a new headband mount for my camera. Let me get it slipped on my head. I had to make sure it was running first. Looks like it's pointing wherever I'm looking. And I can point to things now and explain things a little bit better. Vertical, horizontal, hydroponic, solar powered setup. Got the 12 volt pump running down below. It's a diaphragm pump instead of a rotary pump, so it doesn't clog up and won't burn up if it runs dry. Currently using 1.5" PVC Ys. You can see the white ones over there, and you can see my different varieties growing in here. It's 1.5" Ys, and this cross member here used to be 1.5" as well. But what had happened was the bottom plants were becoming root bound, and water was backing up and then coming out the port like it is with this one right now. And I thought, well, if I widened this section out to 2" that it would give the rooms for the roots to grow. And apparently it wasn't quite enough. All I did was transfer it, but I've just got it. It's going into my makeshift funnel here, just recycling back into the system. But I could pull this apart. That's what's nice about it, is these are all little Lego type PVC pieces that fit together, and you can branch off of them. You can, and then up at the top is the water distribution system. That black piping up there has little ports coming out to each tower. So and then the bottom is 3" PVC with some this is an 1.5" T right here. If I would have my druthers, I would have went with 2" here, so I had to reduce it down to 1.5" to fit in here. But you know, it's working. Yeah, this is 3" down here. I got a couple of holes drilled for plants. I used to have 2 bean plants in here, but they've since been harvested. I was actually able to take one of my cucumber plants that was clogged up in one of these towers, and I just pulled the section out and stuck it in the hole where the beans were. So, you know, I mean, it's very versatile. Getting toward the end of the season, kale did wonderfully. It wasn't that long ago that I put the lettuce and the baby kale in, but you know, I mean, it's getting close to harvest. I've been taking leaves off here and there and munching on them. Cucumbers have just, you know, you're usually supposed to cut them back and just leave the main runner, but I just let the whole thing go hog wild just to see what would happen. It was my first time around. I will not plant cucumbers in 1.5" pipe again. I do have one cucumber plant planted in one of the ports in the horizontal pipe, and that one's doing great. I mean, nothing's gonna clog up down there. So I guess that's a tip. Anything with the large, wide root systems, you probably want to avoid on the vertical stacks. Yeah, look at my cucumbers. Hey, these cucumbers went through a little bit of trauma in the process. Oh yeah, I had to clear out a couple others, cucumber plants as well, and I ended up just coming up with their own nutrient vats, reservoirs, and just really ripped the root structure apart, trying to get them out of you know, the jam packed in these 1.5" Ys. So I just completely immersed it and keep it full through this little makeshift funnel. And I had another one here that it was just wasn't going to get enough water for the root structures to grow back if it's in one of these ports, because these only run 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off. So I wanted to really give them a chance to you know, soak up some nutrients and grow more roots. And I had to cut back some of the leaves. See how wilted these are during the day, probably attached to one of these. but they seem to be conserving energy during the day and pumping it toward the fruit, and then at night they just perk right back up again. But yeah, the extra shelf up on top for my trellis is working out the way I had planned, so that they would be dangling like a cucumber tree. Yeah, okay, bottom reservoir, I've got some ports tapped into a cap on the end of this PVC pipe. On the other side is a clean out, but I've got for overflow, I got it to shut off right now, but there was another design I can do with this. Instead of, right now I'm using this 3-inch pipe as my reservoir, and I'm out here putting 3 to 4 gallons in a day. It only holds six gallons in it, but just evaporation from the leaves and whatnot just seems to suck up a lot of water. So in the future, what I'll do is just use a big bin like this one down here, and as my nutrient reservoir, and pump out of that straight up and into the plants until it drains down into this reservoir, and then use this upper overflow here to go back into the nutrient solution. And then this would just be used for clean out, or can't think of it. There was another use, I can't think of it right now, but that port is necessary as well. Just to be able to adapt it back and forth, you know, is a reason to have it. Pump. Hopefully. There's the pump down there. With a filter, I've got a tin can over it right now just to keep the sunlight out of it. That was the original purpose for it, but not really an issue right now. 12-volt pump is run through a timer. My timer is 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off. I don't know what I just did with the camera. Hopefully it's pointed at it so you can see it. Just turned off. It'll cycle another 15 minutes, and then it'll reset 15 on, and it just keeps going back and forth. That is powered through the solar panel charge controller, which is hooked up to, I've got 3 wheelchair batteries in this bin currently in parallel. So the solar panels up on top, I've got 4 solar panels come down into the charge controller, and will charge up to 13.8 volts tops, and then it stops charging. And I have a 12-volt power supply down here that is on a 12, it comes on at 8 o'clock at night to take over for the solar panel charging, just to make sure that the batteries keep up. So, but that is energy is only drawn from that if the battery level drops below 13.8 volts, so that's not used all the time. But it is on available at night, so the battery is always fully charged. Any other details I'm missing? It's just, I guess, over here, here's the sample of the Legos that I built. All it is a Y with 1 piece of 1.5 inch PVC in there, in the bottom port. You get, this is the 1.5 inch size, and those are the 2-inch size down there. You can use an adapter to downsize or upsize, and these just fit together like this, and you can put them at any angles you want from each other. Notice this is how well my hands work. You know, at any angle, 90 degrees, you know, any degrees in between. And you can also do like tree branch. Once you have one set up, you can set another one like this to plant a plant in this way. And then it was just, you know, you can visualize the different ways of branching out, putting different, but then again, you got to run different water lines for each one too once you get up to the top. But it's just, it's versatile, so you can save space if you, depending on the size of your home, the shape of your home or whatnot. This thing is very adaptable. You can see it is on a heavy duty shelving unit with wheels. I had a little bit of issue with these caster wheels. It's supposed to hold like, I don't know, 4,000 pounds total on these things. No, without the wheels it's like 4,000 pounds, but like 1,500 pounds or something, 400 pounds per shelf. But these caster wheels bent. It could be just because the pavement is not even, and one of these wheels is actually sinking into the pavement over the summer. This is just binder on here. It's not even a full pavement job. But all right, I guess that's it. The reason why you cycle water 15 minutes on, 15 minutes out is to let the roots get oxygenated. They seem to grow twice as fast and more productive. And it looks like I got myself a yield. I got to call this project a success. Just learning wise, demonstration wise. First time doing it. Of course, I got quite a bit of help, but 100% my design from my mind to manifestation. That's it. Be safe, be well, y'all. Food sovereignty, free food for everyone, forever.